could always dig out a plant, I suppose.
1.
Well, that was a Brucey bonus. The fact that cue ball has just come far enough past the yellow that he can take this blue onto the middle. I think it's a natural to just float it in as well. Avoid the reds and be on the red above the black spot, but he's missed the blue.
Lisowski 1.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, let's say he stayed on after his first match and went straight into the next one. You kind of fancy him to get those, but it's just sort of clicking back into gear again. Zhao Hanyang is not out of the group himself. If he won this match and beat Jack Bradford, he'd be on 6 points. Then it would all come back to countbacks and frames and possible breaks.
Six. Zhao Hanyang 6.
Oh dear. The second he missed the red on the way down, I'm sure he shut his eyes.
Yeah, if there was such a thing as a snooker dictionary, if you looked at the word shambles, you'd see a picture of that shot. That could not have gone worse. He's just handed Jack Lisowski the keys to the sweet shop here.
Yeah, the two reds on the left side cushion close together were the problem ball as far as Zhao Hanyang was concerned. He had to catch that red thin enough to drift past those. What he'd never considered is that he could miss the red completely. So he was pretty startled when he saw the cue ball go past the red. Anyway, Jack Lisowski with a glorious chance to score a few here and wake himself up.
$13. $14.
So Fedor, the referee from Latvia, one of the two. Been doing a great job here. Dimitri, his colleague, seems to have had a lot of long matches. Just the way it's worked out.
They've put in some proper shifts, haven't they, to be fair? They're the sort of unsung heroes, as is always the case with the referees on the tour. It's a tough gig at the best of times.
$26.
Could have finished better that. He's taking the opportunity to open more reds up, but this is a thin one now.
$47.
That's a good pot, because that red beneath his bridge hand, his grip hand, sorry, would have been causing him
32.
a little bit of anxiety on delivery. You're always a little conscious that you might just graze the top of that red with the knuckles of the hand. So he struck it beautifully. Well, the tables are quick, but they're not that quick.
Jack Lisowski, 33.
I think he knew as soon as he struck that, there was no way near enough pace on that.
Well, speaking of quick, Aaron Hill with a 92 break has won the first frame against Mitchell Mann. He needs to win his last 2 matches there, Hill, having lost his first, so not out of it yet. But of course, Luca Brisell awaits in the last match. Of course, Brisell won 3-0, 3-0, so that's the perfect start.
One.
Well, he's got an angle on this pink, and he's well behind in the frame. Just wonder if now would be a good time to play the cannon to the red, just north of the 2 on the left side cushion, from the top cushion. He doesn't seem interested in that. So he's going to try and navigate his way back down. Oh, he's played it well. Didn't think he could get hold of the cue ball like that. I thought it was taking it away from this end. Managed to just get enough on it.
Zhao Hanyang, 6.
But not close there. So 34 the lead for Lisowski. Need a couple of reds here to win the first frame, barring snookers. And remember, he starts the season 17th in the rankings. Now, he has been knocked out of the China and Wuhan Opens already in qualifying. But points earned here, of course, are going to help him get back in the top 16. Well, that's played a lovely shot there. So red in colour.
7.
Yeah, if you get back in the top 16, then there's less call to go to qualifiers. You'll be held over to venues in many tournaments. Of course, in some tournaments with the different formats, you know, you'll start at a later round. So definite bonuses to getting in.
Yeah, it's funny, we was talking upstairs after his first round match. He mentioned his ranking and the position he's in. He referred to his good friend Judd Trump, how he's got it easy just turning up for these events, but that's what's possible and what's achievable for Jack Lisowski if he gets back in that 16.
Jack Lisowski, 15.
Nod of the head from Zhao Hanyang, and it is 1-0 to Lisowski. Yeah, Trump's got it easy, but mainly through winning 5 tournaments a year. Most years, but anyway. Jack trying to get back in. As I say, this tournament could certainly help. Now, Aaron Hill, I reckon he's got to win 3-0 here and 3-0 against Brisell, because Brisell not only winning the 2 matches but not losing a frame has really put pressure on. But there may be a route for Hill to win the group. He's got to win this match. He's come out really determined. He was practicing beforehand as well. 92 in the first frame against Mitchell Mann, and in again at the start of frame 2.
Yeah, it was nice to see Aaron on the practice table, actually, just as we was coming down to the commentary position. And I actually think he played awful in his first game. I've not seen Aaron Hill miss so many balls as that for a long, long time. And I think he probably gave himself a good talking to, and that's why he was on the practice table and hitting it hard. And as you say, he's kicked off this match lovely. Great start.
As ever, of course, the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel has table 2. Just lost the cue ball there, but anyway, we'll go back to table 1, where Lisowski is trying to win his second match of the day. He's played 4 frames, won them all so far.
Jack Lisowski is such a good potter from anywhere on the table, really. You don't particularly want to leave tempters for him, because to him they probably don't look like tempters, as he carefully tries to find a way in which he can go for this red and leave the cue ball in a place where he's leaving nothing. Doesn't look like that'll be possible, whichever red he goes for.
One.
Well, it really shouldn't be allowed. The 2 shots he's just played. Unbelievable.
Oh, look at this red. It's outrageous, isn't it? I mean, you can tell how well he's hit that by the arcage of the cue ball around the back of the pack. That is just ball striking at its finest.
9.
And then 1 ball positional shot, and he's on nothing.
Jack Lisowski 9.
Well, Jack can resolve this stalemate now. Take the red that's beyond the line of the middle pockets. Well, he took the other one, but same thing applied. Dump that cue ball into an area where this red isn't cuttable. Well, what a strange shot that was. Surely he could have found something better than that. Guaranteed to leave this red for Jack, although he's playing it right-handed. That was a bizarre shot selection from Zhao Hanyang. Jack will probably move the red away from the black because he knows eventually he's going to want that black in play. He had other options, but you'll notice with Jack Lisowski, he always looks to play an aggressive selection. Again, even though that safety shot didn't look much, he's forward thinking. If he gets a chance, he needs the black.
See so many of these frames now where reds start to scatter and it just becomes very cagey down the black end.
I must say, I feel like I've seen more of these frames in this event than I have for a long time.
Well, he tried to end the stalemate by going for the big shot, but didn't get it.
Yeah, I suppose if you are going to see frames like this, you want Jack Lisowski to be involved in them because one way or another it's going to be resolved quickly.
But can Zhao Hanyang now get involved, because he's looked a bit lost so far in this match? The sort of safety game maybe is not his game, so now a chance to, well, I was going to say get going, but straight away he misses. Well, it's saying, you know, he's a relatively new pro, and just playing someone like Lisowski, I'm sure he knows plenty about, is actually quite a big deal.
1.
Yeah, but Jack's not going to get involved in the romantics, is he? He's going to want to punish him hard and let him know that he's with the big boys now on the professional circuit. You don't get too many chances, or you shouldn't anyway get too many chances against the top players, and when you do get thrown a crumb, you've got to try and make the most of it.
Wasted no time getting them open.
14.
Oh, just overcut it. Wow, well, what a chance now. If Zhao Hanyang can't put something together here, then it's just not going to happen at all for him.
Yeah, and Jack's done all the hard work now, really, for the frame, because he got the reds open a few shots ago. Well, I must say, why has he played that red? That has never been the red to play from where he was. Just pop the red to middle and play a few shots on the baulk colours, get yourself going. Now he's got to pull up a good pot on this black. And that is absolutely deserved. And to be honest, I'm glad he's missed that black, because hopefully that will be a lesson learned. It just showed a lack of composure there. Just straight away to the table, just pot the easy red. That is disappointing.
We saw in the first match of the day, Lisowski,
6.
you know, he wasn't imperious by any means against Jack Bradford, who had chances, just couldn't take them, and Lisowski then stepped in and mopped up. If you looked at the match sheet, the breaks, you'd have thought, you know, it was absolutely one-sided, but it wasn't really. but he made the key contributions.
Yeah, and the thing with Jack is, listen, he'll show respect to every player on the tour, but he'll be acknowledging his opponent's shot selection, and genuinely he'll be thinking he cannot lose this game because of what he's seen so far. So Zhao Hanyang already had his work cut out at 0-0. He's certainly got it cut out now at 2-0 down in a few moments' time.
The other thing is Lisowski's got to just focus, though, because, you know, if you're not, you can miss anything. So it should be 2-0 for sure, all day long. And then you suspect it'll be 3-0.
21.
And that, like Brissell on the other table, will be the perfect start ahead of the crunch match later with Liam Highfield.
27.
His darts needs a bit of work, I think. We were watching him play. I'm quite pleased that, you know, a natural talent isn't good at every sport. It wasn't bad, but needs a bit of work.
Yeah, I'm pleased as well, because he could be one of those people that's just so annoyingly good at like everything they do. So it was nice to see him, you know, peppering the 1s and the 5s in amongst the odd 20, which he definitely didn't
33.
play for. Phil Haig's not bad though, is he? He can throw a dart.
34.
He can, yeah. He beat Jack. Doesn't count towards the table though. That's just a bit of side sport. Anyway, he's closing in on the frame. That Brown to lead by 60 with 59 remaining. Yeah, I mean, it's been a shambolic frame, really, hasn't it? Let's be honest, from Zhao Hanyang in all aspects. Safety, and then when he had that chance, he just made a mess of it.
39.
And there's not a lot of time to recover. The best he can do now is a draw, because there's only a possible 2 frames remaining.
Yeah, that's right. If this was a best of 19, you know, you can just chalk it off as, you know, a really bad frame and try and forget about it and move on quickly. But you can't really forget about it in this format because you're afforded very few chances. So Jack low on this black. We'll look to bring that red off the side rail. Just try and push it towards the green pocket. Chance to be on the other one. He's played it well. Perfect, 51. In fact.
Well, it's his 4th half century in the 5 frames he's won. As I say, he has been making a few full starts along the way, but the bottom line is he's been given chances and eventually he's taken them. Well, he's done enough. A break of 59 from Jack Lisowski to extend his lead over Zhao Hanyang to 2-0. Now, table 2, they're right down to the crunch in their second frame. Aaron Hill did win the first against Mitchell Mann, but here, Mann with a chance to win the second, but he's missed the blue. Aaron Hill can't really afford to lose a frame because he lost his first match. So, okay, he's not left the blue on, but he'd be delighted to see Mann miss it. Of course, Luca Brissell's in this group, but Aaron Hill is higher ranked by 3 places, 41 as opposed to Brissell's 44. Hill made 92 in the opening frame, but this in the balance. But as I say, it's must win, really. He's got to win 3-0. And then it looks like he's got to beat Brissell 3-0. Ooh, double kiss. And now Aaron Hill's golden chance to win this frame. He needs blue and pink. So as long as he gets on the pink here, surely it's 2-0 and the dream is still alive for him. We'll let you know. He's bang on the pink. I'm sure he's going to pot it. I'll just confirm that shortly. But we're back to table 1, where it's 2-0. Jack Lisowski here against Zhao Hanyang. Aaron Hill does indeed knock the pink in, and, well, it's not getting any better, is it, for Zhao?
Well, Aaron Hill struck that blue beautifully on table 2, and Zhao Hanyang struck that break-off terribly. I've seen a few bad break-offs actually today. That red has been coming up quite consistently. Just wonder if the cue ball is pushing because of the conditions a little more into the pack. Catching it a bit thick. Oh, hello. Oh, look at that. What a split.
Yeah, I thought that red was in, but thankfully it's not for Lisowski. So, well, this could be, in 5 minutes' time, 3-0, quite conceivably.
Something as innocent as the break-off, Dave. You think, OK, the red's come up. I've not done too much damage, hopefully, but look at the table now. Deary me.
Yeah, let's be honest, it will be a surprise if he doesn't win it here. He's just got to try and keep things straightforward, but he's got so many options. This was the blue again. Just watch the top left pocket. Red threatened to go in, but thankfully for Jack it didn't.
Yeah, it's a great example there of how to play the pack split perfectly from the blue. You want plenty of pace in the cue ball, below centre ball striking on the cue ball, and hit the apex pink. You're so unlucky if you don't split them like Jack has, and you're even more unlucky if the cue ball doesn't stay in the middle of the table.
Nineteen. 20. 27. 28.
'Well, he's left himself with a little something to do here.
33.
The red to blue wasn't great, wrong side, and didn't fancy going round the angles with the cue ball there to get closer to the red, so going to trust to a little spot of cue power. And in the end, he's ended up throwing his arm at that one. That all came about from the previous red.
33.
Again, a very innocent-looking shot that seemed unlikely to go wrong, went quite badly wrong.
Well, it was a major chance to win 3-0. Not to be, though. Well, I mean, this is a shocker, let's be honest, from Zhao Hanyang.
Maybe that red didn't go. Oh, it's catching. Well, he'll be feeling hot under the collar, that's a fact. Can he just hold himself together for a few moments at the very least, just to knock a few in here and try and get his arm going?
That's what he needs, isn't it? He needs to pot, you know, just 10 balls here just to steady himself, then hopefully, from his perspective, carry on and forget about the sort of butchery that we've seen so far. I think, though, sometimes you see a player really struggle. It can affect the other player. Lisowski maybe couldn't believe what happened there. Maybe he wasn't quite ready for his next shot.
Yeah, it's the psychological impact, if anything. As I say, like genuinely, it's not nice to say this, but Jack will be thinking from what he's seen that he cannot lose this game, and that in turn just allows the focus to drop a touch, and you know, you take your foot off the gas because he's missing balls that are just unmissable.
Zhao Hanyang, 8.
And again, to score 8 from where he was, it just can't do it. It's impossible.
1. Six.
Well,
7.
it seems likely now to be the visit that Lisowski needs to get this one. It really doesn't matter how he's played. His opponent has been so far below the level required
14.
that Lisowski could have won this in sort of, you know, playing at sort of D plus,
15.
never mind A plus. Zhao's got to stay on to play Jack Bradford.
22. 23. 29. 30.
Yeah, and it's a big game for Jack Bradford and Zhao Hanyang, isn't it? Because let's not forget the placings, the prize money that's on offer. It's tough to pick a winner at the minute, but Jack must be delighted up in the Players' Lounge watching this
36.
performance because, well, Zhao Hanyang can't possibly be feeling good.
37.
And it doesn't matter who you are, you don't want to leave the Mattioli Arena with nothing. At least take a consolation prize home.
44. 45.
Well, Lisowski will have however long the next match takes to prepare himself to play Liam Highfield. That's going to be the big one, of course, to decide this group. But the fact is he's played 6 frames and won them all. So he'll be feeling, I'm sure, confident ahead of that match with Highfield later. He will need a draw. Highfield will need to beat him because of the frame difference.
51. 58. 4.
But a naughty snooker to finish. So Jack Lisowski defeats Zhao Hanyang 3-0. It was every inch a 3-0 as well. Zhao stays on. He takes on Jack Bradford next.